Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a Who review. I am Davros and I'm a Whovian, and today I review Doctor Who, The Wedding of River Song. So this is the Series 6 finale. So it's April 22nd, 2011, 5:02 p.m. Having finally escaped his fate, the Doctor travels to the Lake Silencio for his final day, but one woman refuses to let time take its course. Of course, that is River Song. But then along the way, we see some complicated Moffat writing, and we see that the whole time he was pretty much faking his demise, so the universe would get off on him a bit. That came out a bit wrong. So the heat's off him from because he's frightened a lot of galaxies and some orders and that, so he feels laying low for a while. We see the whole story unfold. We get a cameo from the Daleks. We get moments with Dorian, who is now a head in a box. We see all of time and space and everything all happening at once. We get a cameo from Charles Dickens or Simon Callow. We get Ian McNeice back as Churchill with some Silurians. They even take a moment in this episode to acknowledge the passing of the Brigadier, Lethbridge Stewart, who they tell the Doctor that through the phone. And in real life as well, actor Nicholas Courtney had passed away just as before this episode, around the time as well. So, at the beginning of the series, they sort of honoured Elizabeth Sladen's passing, who played Sarah Jane, and then they sort of honoured Nicholas Courtney's passing as he passed away at the end of the series. We even see Amy and Rory in there, and Madame Kavarian finally get her comeuppance. We find out that these eye patches they wear actually help them remember the silence, because like you say, you look away from them, you instantly forget them. And also we see the Doctor and River fix things by tying the knots. They get married and they kiss and they fix everything. She even tells River his name, and we find out that he's hiding out in a little robot, and the Doctor she shoots on the lake is actually the robot from Let's Kill Hitler, and the Doctor's actually inside it well and alive. So yeah. And of course Dorian goes back to that question, Doctor Who? Who is he? Well, we're never going to find out that easily or that soon. So yeah, I liked our cameos in it. I liked Matt Smith as the Doctor. I liked Alex Kingston playing River Song, and in the end it turns out the Doctor became Amy and Rory's son-in-law, because we did find out in the mid-series finale, A Good Man Goes to War, that River is their daughter, and it's all complex, great big ball of wibbly wobbly timey-wimey stuff. But ever since the series started in the spring of that year, it went out into the autumn because we had a mid-series break. But it all came together nicely, and like I say, very complex writing from Stephen Moffat. The fact that he writes the way he does it, kind of makes you pay attention, really, when watching it. That's what I liked about Moffat's era. Despite his writing sometimes getting complicated, it actually made me focus on what was going on, which a show should do for me, because, well, at the time I didn't have a smartphone. It was I was mainly focused on this, watching it, and I thought this was a good finale. Like I say, part B of Series 6, all the episodes were like standalone episodes and what have you, but this one, it was its own episode, but it played back to the beginning of the series as well, and the mid-series finale of the series. So I guess geese. I guess in order to really fully understand this episode, just watch The Impossible Astronaut, The Day of the Moon, A Good Man Goes to War. The rest of the episodes are pretty much filler, to keep it going. We even get Mark Gatiss in there too, in some unrecognisable cameos where he plays a carrier knight-like being who's in the silence as well. Yeah. But I thought this was a fun finale, and it had good visual effects. Like I say, it didn't have the big budget effects, but the effects that they did digitally, it were good enough for me. I enjoyed it. I knew it wasn't real. I knew it was CGI, but I didn't care because it was all in the cast who gave us the great performance at the end in this finale. So I do like this one. It's a good way to wrap up the Silence storyline, I believe, because before that, Moffat had that whole thing with the Silence and the cracks in time. The crack he wasn't quite done with, but the whole thing with the Silence will fall and everything, I feel that he probably tied that bit up nicely for for what would be a good conclusion to that story arc. Because in Series 7, the next big story arc was the Impossible Girl thing with Clara, but we're talking about Series 6 at the minute. And then we got a nice Christmas episode in between Series 6 and 7. But yeah, the Wedding of River Song. I feel that Arthur Darvill and Karen Gillan didn't do much in this one, but they still contributed in a way and were still present. So yeah, ratings. I will give performances a 9, the writing a 8, the visuals a 8, and my personal, I'll give it an 8 because I still enjoy it and it's a good episode, good finale. But like I say, has its complex moments. So there you go. There is my review for Doctor Who, The Wedding of River Song. That's it for my Series 6 reviews. I mean, there is the 2011 Christmas special, which we'll get to next time. Like I say, if you know this channel, you know I go classic Tuesday, modern Wednesday, modern Saturday, and that. So yeah, that's it for this one. So be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe if you wish. It's all down to you at the end of the day. I just make these videos because I like to. So yeah, that's it for this one. So until next time, I've been Davros the Whovian. This has been a Who Review, and until next time, run for your life.